We're right on board with him for his qualifying laps here. We're going to find out who's got it. Number 7, the defending Indianapolis 500 winner. First lap underway. Times will start scoring at the top of your screen as they are given to us. So you'll see who's setting what. Reynolds, top of the board, 19.29. Ryan yet to set a lap time. Second lap in the books. Was it better? It was, but not enough. Kyle Taub took it over. Kyle Taub sneaks away provisional pole as Kristina Ryan gets herself ready to go. We'll be on board her on board here. So Tommy Reynolds got snuck away from pole. What can Kristina Ryan do? Less than 3 minutes left in qualifying. It's going to go quick. 2 minutes 40. She's on her first lap. See that wobble. See the hands. They were moving. But she's just breathing the throttle. Trying to keep as much in it as possible. What's that first lap? Enough for second. 19.21. Lap of destiny potentially for Kristina Ryan. Drops down to 5th out of 4. And she takes pole. 19.11. Lacey goes 4th fastest. He's on his second lap. And he spins it. Lacey will not take pole. Kristina Ryan, one of the favorites in this race, starts the race from pole position provisionally with less than 2 minutes left. Wow. There you go. There's Brandon Browning. Not sure if he's going to be running a lap or not. Jason Blaney he's running his lap. 16 have qualified here tonight. Tommy Reynolds will start from the provisional 3rd position. It's Ryan, Taub, Reynolds, Lacey, currently top 4. Wow. Blaney slides it. First lap. Keep it safe, my man. And he's going to save it. There you go. He's going to reset here. He's going to get one more lap, I believe. Let's see if he actually takes that last lap or not. No, that was the second lap that he spun on. So his first lap's going to put him 16th. So, you know, the question was asked, you know, who's the favorites for this race? Reynolds can't be ignored. Kyle Taub put in a really good time. Let's see what he can do. He's going to be starting the outside front row as it sits at the moment. Kristina Ryan, I've said this for a while, is the favorite to win this race. If Christian Gomez is not here, Christian Gomez, James Pearce, those three, it's the three amigos, the three musketeers at the top of the field, and that is a hard hit for Brandon Browning. Looks like he's not going to set a lap time here. But you cannot ignore Kristina Ryan as we get ready to race here. Everyone's going to sort of dial in then. But Kristina Ryan has to be a favorite here in this race. She has to be. You cannot deny Kristina Ryan being a favorite here. Kyle Taub, will see what he can do. It's going to be interesting to see what Kyle Taub is able to do in that 16, the PPG machine. We're going to actually take a look at the starting grid for you. It's Kristina Ryan at the front of the field, Kyle Taub in second alongside her. Row 2, Tommy Reynolds and Landon Lacey make up the second row of the grid. Row 3 is Thomas Andrews and Jack Mulkey. Mulkey for Szymkowski Racing, Thomas Andrews alongside him on the inside of row 3. Row 4, Nicholas Pressey alongside Tom Sears. Pressey's going to have a lot of potential here. He was really quick on race pace. Qualifying pace set him back a little bit, but he's got the ability to get to the field. That's going to be important because he needs to be familiar with dirty air. That's something that he can definitely do. Keep it on the 94. Justin Carey was 5th fastest in practice. Dropped down the 9th in qualifying, but he can definitely get to the field in that number 42 machine. He's alongside Jacob Blankenship in the number 3 machine in row number 5. Row 6, Terry Gabbard in the number 4 Bengals machine for Prophecy Racing alongside Tommy Withers in the 21, who didn't set a lap time most of the session, but ends up in row number 6. Looking further down the grid as everyone begins rolling on formation lap, Simon Grills and Donny Grouch make up row number 7. Garrison and Blaney make up row 8. Bringer and Toothman, row 9. Row 10, Messer and Hohenbrink. And a lot of people that did not set lap times, Dorozic, Browning, Breault, Painter. So going down, Pannell and Zoo did not set lap times here in Phoenix. So they'll start at the back of the field. Kristina Ryan and Kyle Taub will start at the front of it. You see the lights, they're going to go green when we're here. We got an extra lap of yellow, just to be safe. So we'll go green at the end of this lap. We have 2 formation laps, and then we'll be going green. Stephen Downton, our race control for the evening. And those starts are on green. Restarts are up. Leader's discretion. They're single file restarts if we have yellows. Pace is going to pull in. They're not going to go racing until we get to the Geico restart zone and turns 3 and 4. It's time to see what they're made of. 28 cars set to start racing here in the desert. The beginning of the ABN in New York series is about to be underway. Again, thank you all so much for spending your Wednesday night with us. The future's here. We're in the restart zone. Green flag in the air. We are racing at Phoenix. See how long we can stay green here. Everyone takes it pretty easy the first couple laps. No one was expecting a 28-car field tonight. But that's what we've got. Hohenbrink's crashed. And he immediately jumps the pit lane out of the way. No yellow. We're still green. Everyone's thinning out a little bit. Getting down to a single file sort of affair. As Landon Lacey takes on second place. That's Lacey and Taub. Gabbard's crashed. It's Gabbard that is crashed. He's not on track anymore. So they're tagging the wall and going to pit lane. So not a lot of, no multi-car accidents so far. Lap 4 of 150. 2 cars on pit lane. Right now it's all Kristina Ryan. Landon Lacey going to try to get pursuit in the number 9. Then it's Kyle Taub. Tommy Reynolds is up into 4th place. He started 3rd. He lost his spot and gained it back. But here we go. It's underway. 28 cars started this race. Absolute insanity. Looking further down the field, looking at Justin Carey, the 42 machine, center of your screen. Holmbrink and Gabbard both leaving pit lane. Josh Toothman has crashed. Yellow flag is out. First caution of the night, lap 7. When 7 laps, Toothman and Browning were involved. See if we can figure out what's going on here. That was Browning, what was left of his machine. Holmbrink looks like he might have been involved in it as well. Front of the field, Kristina Ryan. So first 7 laps green. We'll take a look at the caution here. Just a second here. It's going to be Joshua Toothman here. What happens to Toothman themselves? Clipping to Holmbrink as well. Holmbrink was definitely a part of it. And Browning, who had just come out of pit lane, was on cold tires. Take another look at it. See, he's coming up on the outside here. And he just clips him a little bit. And then Browning hits him hard and just comes to a complete stop. Going back to live cameras here. Bunch of cars in pit lane for the first time. I believe something happened under yellow here. We'll see what happened under yellow. What happened here under yellow? Not sure what's going on here. Looks like they're trying to sort out order here, is what's going on. So nothing significant happened here under yellow. Just cars trying to figure out order and everything. So that's what happened there. Had the ping on our speed there, but it wasn't anything significant, I don't believe. Lights still on the pace car, which means we still have at least one more lap of caution here in Phoenix. It's the first caution of the night. For an accident between Brandon Browning, Jonathan Holmbrink, and Josh Toothman. Lights go out. We are 1 to green here at Phoenix. Pacecar's going to take the hard left here on the pit lane. Single file restarts. When everyone received the same race notes, you must line up single file. They must follow the leader here. So it's on Kristina's Kristina Ryan's discretion as to what lane she picks. Everyone just has to follow her as we enter the restart zone. The Geico restart zone. Be hard to miss. It's on the inside and outside of the track. Painted on the outside wall there. See everyone's staggering a little bit. But we're back at it. She went at the end of the restart zone. And we are back at it here at Phoenix. Lap 12 of 150. See how everyone handles it here. It's Ryan, Lacey, then Taub, Mulkey. Mulkey's up to 4th. Caution's out. Not sure why. It is Withers. Withers is part of it, I believe. No, it is not Withers. It was Dorzik. Dorzik is part of it. A shame for the number 99. Take a look at it. Oh, he just got clipped. He got clipped by Donny Couch. Donny crouched there, and then the 11 car clipped him. See if we can get another look at it. You see the damage on that number 99 is pretty severe. So let's see if we can take another look at it here. So we're going to go slow motion here. Yeah, Crouch just bounced off the yellow line and tagged the 99 of Dorzik. And that's a hard impact. Even in slow motion, seeing the car bounce off the ground like that is a very hard impact. You see he lags a little bit. Seems like everyone sort of gets out of his way. I believe that was the... I'll have to see who that was. Let's say everyone avoids him pretty much. So that's not a terrible issue. But under a second caution for Jordan Dworzak and the 11 of Donny Crouch, who sort of just washed out and got tight on him. Unfortunately there for the 99. Second caution of the night. Top 18 have not been to pit lane yet. So a lot of your big position gainers so far have been those that start at the back of the field and have not yet pit. Jimmy Breault is up 10 spots. Todd is up 12 spots. Cody Bullock is up 13 spots. And Daniel Maddox up 10. Now in pit lane for the first time. Same with Ryan Pannell up 7 spots in pit lane. Interesting seeing people in pit lane as frequently as they have been, with you only having 3 sets of tires across this event, and you do not want to use you don't want to use a tire change too early, knowing that you still have 2 pit stops in this race. No one has run a long enough stint in this race to dictate whether or not you can double stint a set of tires. Honestly, with the pace loss that you might experience double setting tires on a fuel run, it may not be worth it. So you definitely want those tires to be there. You don't want to use them too early. It could make your life really difficult later on in this race when you don't have a choice but to use tires. Lights out once again on the pace car, which means we are about to go back to racing. Capacity crowd, capacity grid here in Phoenix. Short track racing under the lights. The sun sets, the track will get cooler. pull up the weather here real quick so you can see what all's going on. You see the track temps already dropped down to almost ambient temperature. 83 degrees on track, 81 degrees air temperature. Wind, it's pretty windy, 10 to 11 mile-an-hour winds. But very cool temperatures so far. Drivers are going to love as it continues to get colder here. We are back to racing here at Phoenix. Kristina Ryan leads Landon Lacey and the rest of the field on the lap 18 of 150. Someone tagged the wall. It might have been Taub. See if he can hold it. He's lost 3 spots on this restart alone. This lap alone. He is holding on in the number 16 PPG machine. He is definitely holding on for dear life. Dropping down pretty hard. He definitely scraped the wall a little bit. See if he can recover that momentum that he's just lost. He's dropped down to 9th place. 8th place, excuse me. He's trying to fight to stay in 8th from Jacob Blankenship, sorry. He is running really wide. He is struggling with the balance of that car. Jeremy Breault in the 74 behind him. He scrapes the wall again. He's running really wide. He is struggling really hard in that number 16 machine. Breault got by him. Pressey got really tight behind him. Lost a couple spots. Brad Ringer in that 76 now ahead. Yeah, this is Nick Pressey, center of your screen, and a 94 machine. This is the battle for effectively top 10. This is 10th place on back. Brad Ringer in 10th. Speedway's finest, and that is a car in the wall. Not sure who it was. It was Nick Pressey. Iffy as to if it's going to be a yellow or not, but he definitely tagged the wall. Believe it's going to stay green. Back in the front, still Kristina Ryan. Mulkey's up to 3rd. Hadn't seen much of him in preseason testing. But here he is in 3rd place ahead of Justin Carey. Tommy Reynolds has dropped down to 5th. He started 3rd in this race, but now he's sitting in 5th spot as the race leader encounters lap traffic. That's a car in the wall. That's Daniel Maddox, the snap-on machine. He pulls it off into the apron, but he tagged the wall pretty hard, and that's going to severely hinder his race with 19 cars still on the lead lap effectively at the moment. And they're all battling for positions. There's no flag really in effect until after you've been lapped. After you've gone the first lap down, until that happens, there's no blue flag rule. You don't have to move. I see people kind of being courteous anyway for the race leaders that are now almost through this pocket of lap cars. That is the 4 of Terry Gap, looks like, in the 20 of Hohenbrink, who are not on the lead lap as it stands anyway. They're going to go to the outside lane, give the leaders the inside. And that'll be that. So now we're down to 16 cars on the lead lap. 17 cars, excuse me. It's a busy place. Get a sense of the speed as they go by the cameras here. Again, still Kristina Ryan. Ahead of Landon Lazy, ahead of Tommy Reynolds. Reynolds is back up to third. He used that lap traffic as a pick and moved himself back into third position. He's going to try to get past Terry Gabbard here. That's a car that scraped the wall. Was that the 42? No, it was not. It was not the 42. Thought it might have been. Oh! Huge crash! Huge crash! Car in the fence! That is Mulkey. Huge crash in turn number 1. That's Todd involved, but it started with Mulkey. That was a vicious crash. That was Mulkey and, I believe, Justin Carey. That was a vicious crash. It's not often at all we see someone go up into the catch fence on a short oval. But that is exactly what the 42 and Justin Carey did. A vicious crash. And do you see that DoorDash machine, the 42 car, all torn up? Not the DoorDash machine, excuse me. That DoorDash machine is number 3 of Jacob Blankenship, but that red and white machine is all torn up. We're going to take a second to take a look at it. We're on lap 36. And he got sent way through there. And you see Nick Pressey just clipped him. But a lot of cars involved in that one. You should have definitely waited. That's not going to be... That's going to be frowned upon by the stewards there. Who was it that he spun in front of? Yeah, that wasn't a great move. We'll see who that was in a second here. That would have been Ryan Pannell, the 12 machine. That would... Now he's... That's going to be tough. Because he was just minding his own business. I would be frustrated if I was him. Alrighty, third caution of the night on lap 37. "28 cars started." We'll kind of give you a sense of how many cars are left running here. It looks like there's still 27 cars running officially. Justin Carey, I believe, might be out of this race officially. So we might be down to 26 here in a moment. Taub in pit lane. He's on the lead lap here in 15th. Simon Grills in 16th, I believe, is the first car one lap down. Indeed, he is the first car one lap down. Brian Messers, one lap down as well. Jason Blaney, 2 laps down. Lights in the pace car are off. Going green for the third restart of the night. Drivers were given the heads up that the beginning of this race was going to be chaotic. We are back racing here at Phoenix. And it looks like the yellow might have come back out. They might have called off the yellow. And they have. Daniel Maddox will be at least is part of the reason why. What happened to Daniel Maddox? Oh no! It's ahead of him. Oh no! That started with Josh Toothman. What happened with Toothman here? He's catching up here. Let's see if we can pause this and get a better angle. Because this is well deep in the field. See if we can ride on board with him. Do they just accordion? They do just check up. And they check up hard. And it pulls a... Everyone trying to close the gaps, and it causes an accordion. And drivers were warned about that in the last practice, in the last preseason test, to not close up the gaps too awful hard. People were warned about that. So that's not going to go well. And it has put us back under yellow here. So we extended the yellow here. We didn't really even go back green. But here we go. Pace car's back in this time. No, they're going to extend it another lap. Because people are still coming out of pit lane. They're going to let everyone catch back up. So they're extending it another lap. But that's rough. That is just so tough. Because everyone wants to close the gap as much as you can. You want to be as close to the car in front of you as obviously you want to. But with these cars, like, you can't be super close, because if you do have the checkup, like what we just saw, then your race is effectively over, especially if you've already used your fast repair. As you see one of the last cars coming out of pit lane. That puts you at such a disadvantage. Like, the warning that was given to drivers, whether or not it's being heated or not, a different question, is you want to be able to see underneath the gearbox of the car in front. So, for example, let's actually go see if we can go on board with Kristina Ryan here. See if we can fast forward through our cameras here. So we'll actually go on board here. You want to see below. You want to be able to see. You want to be able to see the ground between you and the car in front of you. That's the amount of space you want to leave. So the space that the 9 was leaving for the most part is there. They're closing up the gaps now. But when you're not getting ready to come back to the green flag, you want to leave space. So that way if something does happen, you have time to react. And no one had time to react because they were too bunched together. And it puts people on the back foot. Here we go. We're back to green flag racing, lap 42 of 150. To answer a couple of questions coming in, do you think the drivers would have thought about their fuel putting a little less in, knowing there will be cautions? That's not something you can really think about this early in the run. Now, the cautions that you have will affect the fuel economy you set up later in the race, but you have to put in more fuel these first couple of pit stops anyway, because you have to try to make it to that last stint at the end. That is Tommy Andrews. There's going to have to be a yellow there. That was Jason Blaney, and now he wasn't alone. Tommy Andrews was part of that. Trying to figure out why Andrews was a part of it. And that's why he spun on his own. That's not a part of the accident. This is Cody Bullock in the 18, also on his own. Pulls it out of the way and gets back going. And what happened to Blaney? Blaney was just in the wall. And when you're in the wall, eventually when you come to a stop, it's going to pull the car away. Yeah. Yeah, both sides of that car came to a stop, or broke, sort of just snapped. And nothing he can do there. Like, braking, accelerating, nothing he can do there. You can see the tires just wobbling. And he's trying so hard to get back going. See if he can. I don't believe he's going to get very, very far with this. But he's going to try. He does get go. He does roll a little bit here. It's going to be difficult for him to get the pit lane, though. You see him struggling just to get to his pit box here. But he will use his fast repair. He had a fast repair on standby. So that'll save him up a little bit. Fifth caution of the race. I believe the over-under on yellows was 7. So we're getting there. First race of the season. A lot of opening race jitters. We had a full field of 28 cars start this race. We'll see who all is left standing here in a second here. Kyle Taub, it looks like, is out of this race. Justin Carey out of this race. Daniel Maddox is still rolling. Jordan Dworzak is out of this race. So I count 3 or 4 cars out of this event. So still 24 cars running for the first event here. This race is expected to end at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. For those that are currently tuning in, a lot of you guys tuning in, I appreciate you all spending your Wednesday evening with us here on ABN. For the ABN IndyArc series, we appreciate you showing the love for the series, for the drivers taking the time to really go in and compete here. Starting off the 24-race season, determine the IndyArc's Drivers' Champion. This is the first of 3 races in a row coming up. It's Phoenix tonight, Sebring next Wednesday, and then Rockingham. Another fast 1-mile oval coming up in 2 weeks' time. That's the first 3 races of the season for the series. Going to be a lot of fun respecting the bumps at Sebring and then respecting the bumps at Rockingham. Can't wait for that. We're looking at Kristina Ryan, center of your screen. She is the race leader. The pace lights are off on the pace car, which means we are about to go back to green flag racing. 14 cars on the lead lap. Brian Messer in the lucky dog position if another yellow comes out, provided he gets away from the caution. But now we have a lot of drivers just trying to survive. Again, it's on Kristina Ryan's call. See if we can get a longer green flag run in here. Goes to the end of the Geico restart zone once again. Pretty predictable for Kristina Ryan, but no one can do anything about it. Jeremy Breault and Ryan, the only 2 drivers that have not yet pit in this race. Joshua Garrison has not pitted as well. My apologies there. But these 2 drivers at the front of the field have not yet pit, and they have walked away on this restart. Simon Grills in pit lane. Not sure why Simon Grills is in pit lane. The 8 car in pit lane. He'll drop down a lap at least. Brad Ringer up to 3rd. Jack Mulkey in 4th. Tommy Reynolds in 5th. Joshua Garrison 6th. Landon Lacey 7th. Jacob Blankenship down in 8th place. Then it's Tom Sears 9th. Tommy Withers in 10th. Donny Crouch 11th. Justin Painter in 12th. Trying to stay out of the way in that clean tools machine. Number 65. because he is struggling. But he is the last car on the lead lap. I do believe that car might be wounded. We are the first race of the season. It's Kristina Ryan from the field. Then it's Jeremy Breault and Brad Ringer top three. Cody Bullock and Simon Grills, two of the Patriot sim racing cars, in pit lane. They're coming out of pit lane here. Simon Grills still in pit lane. Cody Bullock coming out of pit lane. But here we go. Lap car is getting out of the way. That's Ryan Pannell on that Red Bull machine, number 12. He's had a rough race through no fault of his own. And behind him in the middle of the machine, that's Thomas Andrews. So, a lot of difficulties for those two cars, especially the 12 in particular. Simon Grill's still in pit lane, so I'm assuming he's tagged the wall and he's made it back to pit lane under his own power. See what's going on with that. Not see a lot of damage on that right side, so whatever's happened, he is on pit lane under his own accord. Yellow has come out. It's for Pannell and Toothman. Pannell's rolling. Oh, he's going to spin. Stay out of the way. That was right in front of the leader. This means there was suspension damage on. And you see the 6 car rolling off the track out of the way before more cars came in. Good thing to do there. A lot of rear damage on both of these cars. Wonder if they were side by side when they spun. We'll take a look at the replay here in a second. 6th caution of the night on lap 59. Ryan finally comes in for her first pit stop of the night. And while she comes into pit lane, we're going to take a look at the accident. No! Pannell just clipped the yellow line, and he never really got it back. Andrews was involved. I believe that's why the yellow came out. Take a look at it here. Oh no, Toothman just wrecked on his own. Let's get another look at that. So he gets past Pannell here. Latency. Oh, he gets tagged by Browning. That was Brandon Browning that got into the back of him. So that car is damaged. The 65 coming out of pit lane here. Some battle scars here. Pannell's going through some repairs. You see the side pod of that car is just completely torn off. Dustin Painter was the lucky dog, so he gets back on the lead lap. 13 cars on the lead lap with Painter joining the field here at the tail end. Cody Bullock is the first car not on the lead lap, and he is going to be 2 laps down. Todd Zhu in pit lane, Terry Gabbard in pit lane, as well as Jason Blaine. Jason Blaine is out of pit lane, catching back up to the end of the field here. So now the field is thinning out quite substantially. The over-under odds for cautions tonight was 7. We're at 6 right now, with 90 laps to go. Again, thank you all for showing some support and some love for the series as it begins its maiden season. looking at the front of the field. It's not Kristina Ryan for the first time. It's Brad Ringer at the front of the field. It's Ringer, then Reynolds, Mulkey, Lacey, Blankenship, Sears, top 6. Donny Crouch up to 7th. Jeremy Breault, 8th. Kristina Ryan in 9th. Joshua Garrison in 10th. Tommy Withers, 11th. Dustin Painter, 12th. Brian Messer in 13th. Those are the 13 cars on the lead lap. Cody Bullock, 14th, is the first car not on the lead lap at the moment, but he's not the only car 2 laps down. That is Thomas Andrews exiting pit lane now, I believe. So here we go. We'll see the lights go green here. And we're back at it. Green flag back underway here at Phoenix. For the first time, it's not Ryan at the front of the restart. It's Brad Ringer. Tommy Reynolds up to 2nd. Ringer's up 16 spots in that number 76. Mulkey in 3rd, Lacey in 4th, Sears 5th. Looking a little bit further down. This is 6th place, Jacob Blankenship in your screen. Breault sitting in 7th, Ryan in 8th, Crouch in 9th, Joshua Garrison in the M&M's machine in 12th. Dustin Painter sitting in the 11th spot, slotting in behind, I believe that's Dustin Painter. No, Dustin Painter's the car we're looking at, the Clean Tools machine, my bad. I think I was looking at Withers. I was looking at Withers. Withers in the Valvoline machine. And then Brian Messer there in the number 54, sitting last car on the lead lap, but on the lead lap. Progress for him. He's up 6 spots from where he started. Biggest gainers in this race. One of them's at the front of the field. Brad Ringer up 16 spots. Jeremy Breault up 16 as well. Painter up 13. Bullock, who is the first car not on the lead lap, up 14 spots. Started dead last in this race. Already up to 14th position. Trying to keep his nose as clean as possible in that number 18 machine for Patriot Sim Racing. Then there's this man, Tommy Reynolds, as that is the car on the inside lane. Not sure who that was. It was Toothman. Toothman was in just entered pit lane. He tied the wall, but kept it out of everyone's way. His day continues to struggle a little bit more and more. Believe that is Simon Grills that was exiting pit lane. It is not Simon Grills. It was Thomas Andrews entering pit lane. But Reynolds is taking the lead back. He was one of those that looked really good in practice. He's the defending Indy 500 winner. So you can't bet against Tommy Reynolds here, especially now that he's got clean areas in the lead of this race. He's got the track position, but now it's a matter of, can anyone keep up with him? Can Ringer stay with him? Can Lacey catch back up here? Tom Sears, he's a dark horse sitting in number 14 machine. He qualified 8th, and he's sitting 4th. He's not too far away here. He can make something happen in that number 14, down in the 4th spot. Jacob Blankenship holding on to the 5th spot in the number 3, the DoorDash machine. Jeremy Breault is in the 74 here in 6th. Mulkey has dropped down to 7th in that Napa Auto Parts machine. And Kristina Ryan, your pole sitter, And the person who has led the most laps today, she is currently sitting in 8th. She's our in-race reporter. If we get another caution, we'll talk to her. That is a car to the inside. That was not Cody Bullock. It's not Ryan Pannell. I'm not sure who that was. That might have been Hohenbrink. It was Hohenbrink. That was on the inside. He was on the apron out of the way, so they didn't throw the yellow. Reynolds now in control of this race. Reynolds last pit on lap 46. Kristina Ryan and Jeremy Breault both pit on lap 59. So a 13 lap difference here between Reynolds and Ryan and Breault, who I think are going to become the 3 favorites in this race as time goes on. But we'll see. Brad Ringer's hanging in there with Reynolds. The 76 is doing a pretty good job, and Landon Lacey can't ignore the 9 car sitting in 3rd, just a little bit off camera here. All 3 cars looking really good. Landon Lacey, who didn't see him in preseason testing, didn't see Brad Ringer in preseason testing. But here they are, showing up and showing out tonight as we have crossed the halfway mark. Ringer actually going after the race lead again. Got a little bit of a battle on our hands. The outside lane a little bit better in turns 3 and 4. Just because you can get a wider arch out of the corner and get a better run onto the dog leg. So Ringer's going to have to try to time this a little bit. He's got traffic now that he gets to deal with Blaney, and I believe that is... I want to say that is Maddox. It is Maddox. Reynolds has gotten by. That wasn't Maddox, that was Withers. Excuse me. The Valvoline machine. Ryan Pannell staying on the out of the way. The lap traffic's allowed Landon Lacey to show up. Lacey's in this conversation now. He's gotten a little bit closer in that 3rd position. Sears down to 4th. And now it's Withers and it's Sears and Breault as lap traffic intervenes. Withers do have to let them go here a little bit. See Ryan in this conversation as well. She told us before the race that dirty air is something that she had to deal with, that she had to kind of adjust to, because traffic was holding her back a lot in practice. And you see that she's not really advancing as much as she wants to, as much as compared to like Breault and Reynolds when they had to go through traffic. She's not getting through as quick, and that is slowing her down quite substantially. But she's battling here with Jacob Blankenship in that number 3 machine and getting by him here. So she's still getting spots. She's up to 6. She restarted in 8th. But she's definitely not comfortable in dirty air. She's definitely not comfortable with this car as it sits at the moment, having to deal with lap traffic. Now most of the lap traffic's out of the way. Can she reel in Jeremy Breault in the number 74 machine? As that is a crash. That is Jason Blaney and Donny Crouch. That is a huge accident, and everyone's having to react. Blaney's going to try to keep rolling here. It looks like a lot of just rear wing damage. No, there is suspension damage on that rear side. And he is just going to tow. We'll take a look at it in a moment. But that was Donny Crouch, who was on the lead lap, and Jason Blaney involved in that one. Blaney was in 16th. Crouch was in the top 13. I believe he had just dropped to 12th when that accident occurred. And now both seemingly out of this race. Jason Blaney might be actually completely out of this race. He's out. He used his fast repair. We watched that fast repair get used. We're on caution number 7 for Jason Blaney and Donny Crouch. As we watch everything in pit lane going on right now, we will take a look at that caution, at what caused it. So we go. Looking at Jason Blaney here, he just clips the yellow line. Just clips the yellow line just a little bit, and Crouch had nowhere to go. Good job by everyone to avoid it, because you carry so much speed at turn 2. But just tagging the yellow line. It was in the pre-race notes. Yellow line is dangerous. Don't touch it. And there's Jeremy Breault, who has effectively he has inherited the race lead here. So this is the leader of the field at the moment. It's Jeremy Breault. Landon Lacey came in. So 2 cars did not pit on the lead lap here. Breault and Garrison are now 1-2. They pit on lap 59. Kristina Ryan, interestingly, pit again on lap 88. So she just pit under this caution. She sits now in 4th position here, as it looks like that is... See if we can get a look at her. That is Tom Sears in 3rd here. Trying to get a look at the 3rd place car. So it's Tom Sears. Kristina Ryan will move into, as all the lap cars get moved back. Kristina Ryan will be 4th. Brad Ringer 5th. Tommy Reynolds 6th. See if we can get a hold of Kristina Ryan real quick. Hey, Kristina, you got a copy?
Yeah, what's up?
Alrighty, you're back up to 4th. Black traffic was giving you a lot of headache, but now you've got less traffic to deal with. How are you feeling as you get ready to go back to green here for the 7th time?
Yeah, we're coming to 1 to go here, but I feel really good. I'm happy with the first stint. I laid back a lot on this stint and just played with the settings for later to see what would and wouldn't work without wrecking the car. Just been taking my time. I did a little sneaky here and just took fuel only, so I still have the set ready to go, but I can probably go on fuel with these guys if I have to. But we'll see what happens. It should be fun. I've been enjoying myself. It's been a pretty crazy race.
Yeah, it's been crazy up here for sure. Good luck in that in the next phase of the race down here. We'll be keeping an eye on you.
Thanks, you too.
That is Kristina Ryan, sitting 4th place at the moment in the number 80 Cognizant machine. Tom Sears just in front of her. Then it's Garrison and Breault, the race leader. Breault taking point for the first time today. Here we go. It's almost showtime. Breault's in the Geico restart zone, and away he goes. Ryan's trying to get past Sears. The number 80 and the number 14. Side by side, wheel to wheel. Sears has the outside lane. Ryan on the bottom. This is the battle for 3rd. Ryan slots back into 4th here. Brad Ringer in 5th. All of them having to chase down Jeremy Breault, who was checked out and checked away. And his set hit the fastest lap of the race, 19.41 for Breault. As he enjoys the clean air, everyone's in it to try to get around Garrison. Sears goes to the bottom. Ryan will try to follow. Garrison stays a hold of 2nd. Really being a bumper between them and Breault, who continues to set best laps of the race. Brad Ringer in the 76. Up to 5th. Up to 4th, excuse me. Ryan needs to get past Garrison in a hurry. You heard her in our brief interview. She just took fuel on this stop to put her on the same strategy as the rest of the field. What that'll mean, we are going to find out as Donny Crouch stays on the high line here. Evans just has to try to get around him as he tags the wall. Close, but he stays out of the way, and there's still a lot of damage on the number 11. You see he's still missing the left side pod there. That is some serious scarring on that number 11 as he tries to stay as high as possible. Just at this point, running laps, hoping other people go through a worse fate. Maddox has crashed, but he was already behind the 11 at Crouch, and he was on his own. So some wounded cars here. Jason Blaney also doing the strat, running on the very far outside when he needs to let the leaders go. But at this point, trying to collect as many points as possible and head into Sebring next week. See Maddox in pit lane. Timer on the bottom shows you that. Everyone, the Breault gets past Pannell. Ryan's gotten past to second. Reynolds is up to third. We didn't talk about Breault at all in practice. We didn't think he was going to be a factor, but here he is. He's got a 5-second gap, or 4-second gap, excuse me, on Kristina Ryan, the pole sitter. Yellow's out. It's for Mulkey and Zhu. See if we can find where Mulkey's at. Both of them are in. That is turns 3 and 4. And substantial damage on that number 60. And a lot of damage on the number 13. You see bodywork dragging on the ground on the number 13 machine. But that is why the yellow has come out. A 2-car accident. Zhu was the first car off the lead lap. And Mulkey was on the lead lap at the time. In fact, Mulkey's going to try. You see the play in that left rear, and he's skating. He's skating because he knows if he can get back and use his fast repair, he stays on the lead lap. So it's imperative that he doesn't spin here. Todd Zhu, it let go on him. It let go on him. What a shame. Yeah, and he knew he had a toe. He knew he had the toe. He was trying to stick it out and stick it out and stick it out because if he could make it back and come to pit lane, he would have stayed on the lead lap. But that is not going to be the case now. He couldn't hold it for another third of a mile. Unfortunate there, but Kristina Ryan now re-inherits the race lead. Jason Blaney in the number 22 and Ryan Pannell in the number 12. If they do not come in this time, which I'm assuming they might, just to repair any residual damage, there they come into pit lane. 8th caution of the night for Todd Zhu and Jack Mulkey. The 60 and the 4. The 60 and the 13, excuse me. Terry Gabbard was not involved in that accident. Gabbard is 3 laps down. Looks like Mulkey will go 1 down here. He's not going to get out in time. Gabbard had a rough start of the race, but he's kept his nose clean ever since. So here we go. Lap car is going to have to move out of the way to let the lead lap cars go to the front of the line. It's Ryan, Reynolds, Blankenship, Withers. Here we go. Ringer in 5th. Breault's down to 6th now after coming in to top off of fuel. The top 4 stayed out because they pit onto the last yellow. Now the interesting question is the people like Ringer and Breault, Sears, Garrison, are they good to go on fuel? Honestly, you'd have to kind of imagine maybe with as many cautions as we've had. But the fuel window, to my understanding, was between 42 and 46 laps. And we're going to go green with more than 46 laps to go in this race. Again, for everyone tuning in, this is the beginning of the ABN and the ARC Series season here at Phoenix. First of 24 races on the calendar. We're glad you're spending your Wednesday night with us. Start of something amazing underway. Kristina Ryan trying to win the race. Lights in the pace car are off, which means we are about to go back to racing here. Pace car's going to pull in. Here we go. We are back at it. Green flag back in the air. And that was Withers who pulled down to the inside. See Donny crouch exiting pit lane. Jonathan Handbrake still running. So in front of the field is Kristina Ryan, Tommy Reynolds, Jacob Blankenship. It's Ryan and Reynolds in your screen. We'll show this battle for first right now as it heats up. 3-car race, technically. Blankenship's got himself a little bit of a gap between himself and Breault. But this is the battle at the front. Ryan almost tagged the wall. Ryan goes to the front. Ooh, that was close. Ryan tried. Reynolds had to avoid crouch. And it checked Ryan all the way up. Juice back in pit lane. Number 13 car back in the pits. Ryan lost a lot of time on that lunge in Reynolds. It almost didn't pay off at all. Now she's out. Blankenship and Breault right behind her. There's Blankenship. There's Breault. Breault's up to third. He's the first driver that might theoretically be able to make it on fuel. He's got to make it 47 laps on a tank. That's just a little bit outside the fuel window. Reynolds and Ryan both definitely need to pit. They're banking on another yellow. No one infinitely knows the actual fuel window here. Everyone's sort of just kind of trying to gauge it here. We haven't had a full green flag fuel run in this race. So for Ryan, it's very difficult trying to figure this out. Because if she can't, then Reynolds can't. But Breault and Blankenship can't. Blankenship pit on the 88 as well. It'd be Breault, Lacey, and Ringer that really have a shot to make this go all the way. As Reynolds deals with lap traffic here, that is... I believe that was... don't remember who that was. I believe that was Bullock. Not Bullock, Maddox. That he passed. But here is Tommy Reynolds, center of the screen. Maddox is in pit lane. Kristina Ryan sitting in second. She's been caught. She's been caught by both Breault and Lacey. So third and fourth, if they can make it on fuel, they can make it to the end here. And they would be battling for a provisional lead as Lacey goes for the lead provisionally over Breault. It's battle for third on track. But we know that Ryan and Reynolds cannot make it on fuel. You cannot go more than 55 laps at all on fuel. You have to be able to stretch it. And they have not pit since lap 88. They have a guaranteed pit stop left. But Lacey wants that third spot. He wants to be in the catbird seat when those two pit. And they're gonna race each other close. Ryan trying to get through lap traffic. She gets past Jason Blaney. Breault holds on to third, Lacey in fourth. Ringer's all the way down in fifth, but he put on lap 103, so he has the ability to just kind of sit and wait, because if he can, and everything falls into place the way they all want it to, he'll be in a podium spot. But it's imperative that a yellow does not come out now, because if a yellow comes out now, then all of the game planning that Breault and Lacey and Ringer and Sears have put into it really kind of falls apart. Because then they get a free pit stop, and now everyone's good to go to the end, and that means we're going to get chaos to end this race. Down to 26 laps to go. Tommy Reynolds at the front of this field, trying to win the first race of the season. He's one of several people that have led a lap so far in this race. He's going after the most laps led bonus points. There's 4 bonus points in the Indy ARC Series, leading a lap, leading the most laps, fastest lap, and pole position. Ryan's already got 2 of those points for pole and leading a lap. Can you lead the most laps, and can you get the fastest lap? That's going to be the interesting conversation piece. Breault's got the fastest lap so far, 19.4. All of that means something. Less than 25 to go. Here's the battle for second. Ryan, Breault, Lacey. Breault's going to try to get by for second. Not much she can do about it. Breault's got the faster tires. Ryan definitely struggling now. Todd coming back to pit lane. Getting out of the way. Reynolds well on his own, but does it matter? 4 cars battling for second. Brad Ringer's in this conversation as Breault gets held up by Donny Crouch. Lacey's gonna go for it. And Breault knew he didn't have a shot to defend from it. Or does the around the outside again? They're still battling. This could be the battle for the race lead when Reynolds pits. This is where it gets wild. Hohenbrink is spun. So far, no yellow. I believe he's on his own. No! Why was the yellow not called? Lacey was unsighted. Oh my goodness. There was a delay in the lights coming on. The drivers did not see the lights immediately. Daniel Maddox just got wrecked. believe that was Tommy Withers that ran into him, trying to avoid. He was trying to avoid Landon Lacey. But this does bail out Ryan, and Reynolds stayed out. Reynolds stayed out. Oh dear. So we'll take a look here, because it was Homebrink that crashed. And we assumed that he was out of the way. Here's a look at it. He's fighting that. He's been fighting the car all day. That should have been an instant yellow. You see, Breault sees it, Lacey doesn't. That's just horrible. Reynolds is in pit lane. This is going to be wild. We're going to see if we can talk to Kristina Ryan one last time, because this will probably take us to the end of the race. Kristina, you got a copy?
Hey, this got exciting.
That's what I was about to say. Less than 20 laps to go. You're sitting in third. Everyone's back on the same playing field, and you've got to run for it.
Yeah, I got the fresh tires on too, so I'm hoping that paid off. I got kind of lucky to miss that wreck, but yeah, I don't really know what's going to happen, but I got an opportunity, so checkers or wreckers, I guess, because points don't matter for me, but nah, Brad's going to give me a really hard fight. I know Tom is too. These guys are really, really quick tonight, so we'll see how it goes.
Wait, how are you feeling? Like, lap traffic, you've been getting a little bit better with the lap traffic. You get more comfortable as the race goes on? Obviously, it's going to be an all-out sprint from here on out.
Yeah, I feel okay. I don't know that we're really going to catch anymore. But I was on those really old tires, and that was what hurt me. So now I got freshies. I think I have fresher tires than everybody, so we'll see if it pays off.
Alrighty, well, good luck. Lights on the pace car. That's Kristina Ryan for the last time, our in-race reporter here at Phoenix. She's sitting second behind Brad Ringer ahead of Tom Sears and Dustin Painter. It's going to be Brad Ringer leading us to the green once again. The 76 car ahead of Kristina Ryan. Sears, Painter, Blankenship top 5. Breault, Garrison, Reynolds, Messer top 9. Weather's first car not only lap, he is one lap down. Another quick yellow if he can avoid it. Gets him back on the lead lap. But we're racing once again. 15 to go here at Phoenix. 14 to go. Ryan saved her last set of tires for this occasion. She's got to chase down the 76, and she's got to defend from the 14. Sears squeezed the gap. Sears the second. This is the sprint to the finish that we wanted to see. Took us a little bit to get to it, but we're going to see it. There's debris on the front straightaway, on the back straightaway, excuse me. Don't know who that was for. Yellow is not out. There's no car stationary on track. It was Reynolds. Was it Reynolds? No, it wasn't Reynolds. Because there's Reynolds in the 7. So our timing and scoring lied to us on that one. It wasn't the 7 that was in the it was the 12. It was the 12 Pannell. This is Ringer. It's Ringer, Sears, Ryan, top 3. Ringer's in a sprint race on his own. Tom Sears and Kristina Ryan both pit on lap 133. 10 laps to go here at Phoenix. Can Sears catch up to Ringer and pass him for the race lead? This is going to be one of those magical finishes, I believe. Remember that this race can end under yellow if a caution comes out with less than 5 laps to go. So if you're going to move, you got to move now, and Sears is catching up to Ringer. Top 3 in your screen. Ryan hanging back a little bit. Sears letting it come to him. The gap's 4/10. They get past Crouch. This is the bandstand finish that we were hoping to see to start the season. Wasn't the duo we expected to see up the front. But 7 to go. It's Brad Ringer, Tom Sears, Kristina Ryan, Jacob Blankenship, all the way back and forth. Sears had losing a little bit of time. It's down to half a second. He's struggling in turns 3 and 4. You see him drift out a little bit wider. He clipped below the yellow line. It's a very dangerous move, but you see how desperate he is. It's costing him time. He's down. He's lost the 10th because of it. Gained it all back in turns 3 and 4 that time. And gaining more and more. Below half a second. He's trying to shadow Brad Ringer, but he needs to try to keep himself in clean air, and that is going to be lap traffic. 5 to go, coming to 4 to go. Ringer gets out of the way of Pannell. Pannell goes down on the yellow line. This could be what Sears needed. 3/10 and counting. Oh, here we go. Coming to 3 to go. The gap is as small as it's been. Mulkey gets on the apron, out of the way. Ringer shining when it matters the most. Coming to 2 laps to go here at Phoenix. 40 seconds away from the first race winner of the season. Who's it going to be? Blaney holds up Ringer here. Sears needs to drop to the bottom. Can Sears do anything? 1 lap to go, presented by Field Up here at Phoenix. This is the battle for the race win. Lap traffic once again in the way. Blaney crashes Ryan's involved. Can Ryan limp back in 3rd? To the line, checkered flag, Brad Ringer wins. Ryan hits the wall hard out of turn number 4 and will drop down to 5th across the line. Heartbreaking for Ryan, her first start in what is going to be a very sporadic schedule here in the series for her. Blaney spun, trying to stay out of the way, and it cost her the podium. But for Brad Ringer, he is your race winner. The first race win of the season belongs to Brad Ringer, and that's 76. A lot of pressure at the end of that race. But the Indiana man has done it. From 17th on the grid, he wins at Phoenix. And he's going to burn it down, I'm willing to bet. Wow. That was a finish. That was 100% a finish. Wow. So here's what happened on... We missed it a little bit there. See if we can go back to it here. No! Ryan just tagged him. Ryan just had a lot more momentum and just didn't lift. In fairness, I think Ryan was hoping Blaney would stay on the outside lane, and it just didn't happen. That's something that'll have to be looked into, see what happened there, because it looks like Blaney's taking the normal line, but Ryan's just got so much more pace to the corner, and it just when Blaney took his normal line, Ryan just had nowhere to go, and she tried so hard to hold on to that third spot. Lost the Blankenship at turn 3, and slipped behind Reynolds in turn 4. And you see how she crossed the line. That's rough. But Brad Ringer, your race winner here in Phoenix. Wow. Wow, 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 wow.
What am I supposed to do here?
All right. So Tom Sears has joined the broadcast booth here. Second place finisher. You said you weren't going to be anywhere close to the front this race.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure how to get dragged into the booth, but now I got you. Yeah, man, I'm pleasantly surprised. That was some, when it was actually green, I had a lot of fun out there. We did get some pretty decent green flag rounds, and I think a lot of these guys being such a big field together for the first time showed, but there's always room for improvement. I'm really very happy with how that went, and good race there at the end. A couple lap down cars, but that's racing, so good race. I was happy with that, with at least what I was able to.
Yeah, that lap traffic helped you out a little bit there. Definitely put you back in sort of contention, because Brad was trying to pull away there, and the lap traffic, obviously he was caught off guard just about the same. Like, lap traffic was the name of the game and being able to manage it. And obviously you started 7th, you started 8th, you finished 2nd, so you had the pace there from the start to the finish. Just how bad was the dirty air once you got behind those lap cars?
Honestly, the air wasn't too bad. Like, I guess kind of on corner exit, the air could be bad if you stay behind them. But if you could just kind of figure out what lane they're probably going to go into the turns, you could get out of their lane and just go around them. But, there's a lot of cars on the track, so sometimes there's a few lap cars or lap cars and lead lap cars kind of in a pack, so you just got to be careful. I felt good. I'm surprised I didn't want it up, Clayton, to be completely real with you. I didn't even use my fast repair, so pleasantly surprised with first Indy race. I can't wait to get on a road course.
Yeah, speaking of road courses, next week, it's going to be one of the more demanding ones, Sebring, coming up next week. With the insanity and the first race jitters out of the way, how comfortable are you at Sebring coming in, knowing that that's just 7 days out?
I've done some practice. I haven't done many practice in other cars, not in IndyCar. I got to get on a Sebring. That's a really flat road course. Get some practice there in the Indy cars and get ready for next week. Great track.
Well, man, congrats on your podium, first for the season. You said in preseason testing, I'm not sure how far up I'm gonna be here. You're on the podium. You battle for the race win. The last 10 laps were an absolute sprint race. Glad to see you up here, and can't wait to see you at Sebring.
Hey, man, thank you. Appreciate it, and thanks for the broadcast. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was Tom Sears, second place finisher here. See if we can get a hold of the race winner, Brad Ringer here. See if we can get a hold of him. Hey, Brad, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
What a race, man. You had to hold off Tom Sears, and you had to get through lap traffic to make it happen. but a race win, first race win of the season. How you feeling?
Pretty good. I learned about this league about 4 days ago. Got excited, and I don't really know.
So you started 17th. You started really low in the field. We knew you had pace in practice. Getting through the field and avoiding all the accidents. How was that journey getting up to the field? Because you went through it all to get up there, and you held the lead more than once. How was the car for you? Because we saw people struggling, people touching the yellow lines, people going below the yellow line. How difficult was it for you to adjust to that, knowing the car was as floaty as it could have been?
Yeah, I put myself behind in qualifying. I tried to find the cushion in 3 and 4, or 1 and 2, whatever it is now. But in practice, I stumbled upon a setting that was pretty good, where I could hold it pretty wide open, 3 and 1 and 2, top or bottom. Yeah, just a lot of lifting, a lot of braking that I usually don't do in this deal in IndyCar. But I got in a wreck, the first wreck in turn 1 fairly early, got me off sequence. I don't know how I held on. Those were 65 lap old tires at the end.
65 lap old tires. Yeah, we mentioned in the broadcast here. You pit on lap 103. That was your last time in pit lane. The limit on tires, we figured it would kind of catch people off guard a little bit. The 65 lap old tires, and you were outrunning Tom. Like, when you got the clean space, you're outrunning him. That comfort, how much experience do you have in this car to be able to do that, be able to kind of just walk away from two drivers that are no slouches when it comes to oval racing, especially in these cars?
I run these cars as much as I can on here. I really like the Indy cars from Speedway Indiana, a mile from the track, from IMS. Love them. I was actually just joking with my teammate, Justin Carey. I hate Phoenix. I don't know what it was tonight. Just something felt good and made it happen.
Well, obviously, like, you've got a lot going on. Obviously, you have Phoenix next week. Now you're the points leader. You're walking in. No one knew who you were 4 days ago. You kind of just jumped in and said, hey, this looks good. We'll do this. Now you're the race winner. It wasn't the easiest road. Sebring next week. Look forward to that one a little bit better?
I probably won't be the point leader after next week. Course. I like road courses. Sebring is not at the top of that list.
Hey, you never know. You said you didn't like Phoenix, and you rocked Phoenix. So next week we'll see what you can do. But man, enjoy the race win. You got a week to sort of let it sink in before you have to deal with Sebring. So congratulations on your race win, Brad. And we will see you in 7 days.
Thanks, guys. Had a lot of fun.
Thank you. That was the race winner, Brad Ringer, in our interview booth here. We talked to Brad Ringer, Tom Sears. I don't believe Jacob Blankenship is available, but one driver that is available will be Kristina Ryan here. She finished 5th and was on par to finish 3rd. We'll talk to her here in a second. Hey, Kristina, you got a copy?
Yeah, what's up?
So that went lopsided, didn't it?
Well, I mean, I talked with Blaney afterward. I didn't know it was Blaney. He'd been saying that he was slowing down a couple cylinders at least. I hadn't had any problems with him the whole race, and I'll be real, it was just a miscommunication. I thought he was going to give me the lane with how slow he was, because I thought he was lifting to give me the lane. And then he came down across my nose, and I was committed at that point. I tried to check up, but he had so much damage. That wasn't really his fault. I just misread the situation. But yeah, I'm really impressed. I was thinking that even though that the tires take a little bit to heat up, I was waiting for it to kind of come to me, because I knew those guys up front had really old tires. But it just never happened. But I got the pole, which is what I wanted. Led a ton of laps, had a blast. And other than the deal at the end, I think I drove a really good race. And I'm cleared from the infield care center with a top 5 and a pole. I can't really complain with that.
Right? That was a wild race because the race winner, Brad Ringer, he was on 65 lap old tires at the end there, doing what he was doing. So whatever he had figured out, he was gone. Like, did the fresh tires just not dial in? Because you and Tom, I think, were on the same strategy.
You know, I don't know. Because they felt okay. I'm just not really sure. I was definitely that whole middle stint. I was on old tires, so I pushed those a really long way. But I think it really wasn't feasible for me to stay on them, all things considered. You know, I'm not really sure because I know on tracks like USA, you never want to pit really. But I think I don't know. They didn't feel awful. I was doing a lot of things in the car to try and get them. You know, get it doing what I was doing. I learned a lot today, which is really good. I think for not being super familiar, it's kind of weird. I've not been in traffic today, and I think I did all right. But yeah, I don't know. It was interesting though. And yeah, I heard he was on really old tires, so props to him. That dirty air was getting tougher as the race went on too. I think the cold track made the newer tires less lucrative as the race went on as the track cooled down. I think there's something to that, but yeah.
Well, obviously not how you exactly wanted the race to end. You started the last lap with third, you ended up with fifth. But one, glad to see that you're okay, and two, you finished in style. Yes, you finished in style.
Yeah, we finished on 2 wheels. I'll tell you it wasn't the initial contact that was kind of painful. I went off into the final corner and I think one car passed me for third, and I saw a big group coming behind me, and I was sliding up the hill, so I gunned it, 1, to get out of the way, and 2, to see if I could get across the line, and I thought I lost the top 5. I thought those were all for position, so I was kind of bummed, but we still got the top 5. I'm not too bothered. I talked with Blaney, everything's good, so no, I had a blast. If I didn't win, I didn't really care where I ended up because points don't matter to me. But so I don't mind that. We had to give him a show somehow, and I think I did that. So I think we all did that. Actually, that was a really good race.
It was a lot of fun watching. Like when the green flag runs came, obviously with the sprint being the first time that everyone was on track together as a full 28 car field, which still blows my mind. Just an absolutely wild race. Your first race, we're probably not going to see you very often during the season. Maybe Long Beach. We'll see where you're at for Long Beach. But knowing that you're obviously not worried about points here in any races you do, or kind of just for fun, like how much did you learn tonight, and how much does that kind of change sort of how you sort of prepare for this car for other races?
Well, I'm not sure if I'm showing up for other ovals, so I don't think it's really gonna mean much to me in that sense. But you're
not showing up for the 500 in May.
We'll see. Court, of course, is my main shindig. So if they're going on there, then I think I'm gonna commit to that. We'll see where I'm at in points and everything too. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I learned for the next time I get in an Indy car on an oval, I guess. It's not that I didn't know about the aero push and stuff, but the problem I would run into a lot is I would be tuning the bars and stuff. When I finished second in the 500, it was before we had all this fancy stuff in the car we could move around. So I'm not used to that. But I definitely. I don't think the pace at the end of the race showed how rewarding it was for me tuning stuff, because I was sitting at like 10 or 11 weight jacker and like 2.6 bar at the end to make it turn, and it worked. So, yeah, I don't know. For the road courses, it's kind of more up my alley, I think, actually, because it's a worse F1 car. But I don't know. I think I don't know. It was fun, and I learned for the next time I'm in an Indy car on an oval at Phoenix, because that was probably the first time in all those tests that I've been in that heavy of traffic. So, yeah, I don't know. It was fun. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm not injured. I'm not mad. I'm not salty. So that's a good win. That's a good day for me. So.
Well, Kristina, congratulations on your top 5 at least, pole position as well.
Track record still intact.
Track record still intact. Nobody even came close to touching that. But top 5 finish for you tonight. We will see you whenever we see you. Good luck over in court. And Next time we see you, we'll have to keep an eye on you.
Yeah, thanks. And if anybody was in the chat watching, I know I had a couple friends that might have been popping in. So hi, thank you. Sorry we didn't win, but we finished on 2 wheels, so we get a fun stat for next time we come here. So thanks, Clayton.
Not a problem at all. Congrats. That was Kristina Ryan, the 5th place finisher here. See if Tommy Reynolds wants to be interviewed or not, because he was 4th. Jacob Blankenship did not want to go through the interview process, so he was our 3rd place finisher. So we will see. Don't believe anyone is in the interview queue, so I believe that might do it for us tonight. So for us, everyone here at ABN, that does it tonight. The first night of racing here out of 24 race weekends coming up. Next week is Sebring, same time, just different location, Sebring International Raceway. Coverage begins Wednesday next week, 8 p.m. Eastern. We get back to our normal schedule. We have the Shake and Bake Next Gen Series next Thursday at 8 p.m. That is at Charlotte. So we get back to our normal schedule. But for everyone that tuned in, you guys tuned in large amounts. You guys showed a lot of love tonight. For everyone here at ABN, everyone at ARCS, we appreciate it. Brad Ringer, your race winner, the first race win of the season. Tom Sears, Jacob Blankenship round out your first ABN Indy ARC Series podium of 2022. 23 races to go. The road to the Drivers' Championship is officially underway. For everyone here at ABN and for Indy ARCS, I'm Clayton Hardy. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We will see you next week at Sebring and next week at Charlotte. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, have some fun, enjoy the weekend. We'll see you in 7 days.